Please go on.
Right. Close that. Open up a different camera.
What was that?
So on the sound, you can mute any of the ones you don't want. That's the input here.
That's the Mevo, and that's the Mevo. But we don't have another audio, so it's not. That doesn't let us select the audio from here.
Okay. No. Well, it's recording our voice, so the question is it all three of the cameras doing it, and that is a problem? All you have to do is...
It's only two cameras. It's only two cameras.
This is also broadcasting.
Oh.
So right now it's set up for...
Well, look, see that is just our output right there.
Oh, that's...
See how we don't have BU on our...
Yeah.
We don't have BUs here. See, that's where it goes.
No, now this one is the one that's broadcasting.
There's no audio.
Got it.
Like we can turn this one off.
Oh. What does that mean?
This would be our output.
Hang on. Let's turn. That's weird. All right, want to go online and see if anybody's talking?
Oh yeah, there's people logging on right now.
All right. Ask them what the audio sounds like.
Oh, we're getting it through here. That's what's muting. That's just muting our speaker right here.
Okay.
Let's see, where are you going to be mostly working?
I don't know. I guess right here for the moment.
This one's the closest to me.
That one's close up.
So yeah, that one's close up on the engine.
Okay. Let's make this one close up from the other side.
Oh, okay. Then it's going to be in all the shots though also.
Well, it's okay. We're playing around with some new multi-camera things for the live. So if you're joining us, you're seeing an experiment.
Oh yeah.
We're currently in the garage. This is my new engine for Project Backmarker, B18C. And I am just dressing it up for use. So
yeah, we're going to be shooting our video on this. You want to shoot our intro and stuff?
yeah, I try to shoot video on Multicam.
No, but I mean with the other camera.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're also going to be doing a video for the moment. So
Here's the link.
not that I'm sure you guys care about that. Who knows? Could be interesting. Turn my mic on. So tell me, how was the video on this? I mean the audio. If you guys are commenting. I will look at the comments.
Do we have YouTube on the TV in here?
Oh, what?
Do we have YouTube on the TV?
I do not. I can bring it next time. And then we can just move stuff over that way.
Oh,
Not telling me I'm live.
Team axle stands. Tuna, what's up? Tuna, no cross.
Probably need to log out and log in, Brian.
Yeah, you just switch. Do you have yours on here? Oh, you use this one?
Yeah, that's fine.
Your mic just...
I turned it on.
Yeah, they're both on. What's up, Josh? Super blurry.
Looks fine to me.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on my feed. Super blurry.
Ask him if he's been drinking.
Well, you just did. The mic's on.
I know. It's a little echoey in here, but the audio is fine.
Yeah, it should be.
All right. VTEC just kicked in.
Yeah, see now you have both of the amiibos are like super tight.
So back
That's
this one up.
why I had that one back
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
so we could have a.
Yeah, but what about if I want to show something tight?
You can walk right up to it, or you can walk up to this one, or you can walk up to this one.
Well, you mean me move rather than just have the
Physically,
camera?
you can do it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. All right.
Hey, you're still mobile, man. All right, you want to do our intro here?
Yeah.
Okay, one second. Why is this so dark? All right, there you go.
My brother wants his B17 back, so I got a B18C for my back marker. Welcome to VTEC Academy. You're about to get schooled. Okay, so I am putting a new engine in Project Back Marker. It's had a B17 in it. It actually belongs to my brother. He's getting his CRX back, so he needs his engine for his car. So I have an R. Honda B18C. Now, R. is, you look right here, there's a little inscription there that says R. It's got the Honda symbol in it. That means this was factory rebuilt at Honda. So this engine has essentially 0 miles since the rebuild, and we're going to be putting it back in this car, seeing what kind of horsepower we can get out of it. I'm hoping that it works out pretty good. Might add some cams to it as well. In fact, I probably need to hit up somebody to figure out what kind of NA build I can do on this using the stock block and pistons. Maybe get a little extra oomph out of it. I do plan on using the stock intake manifold with the air intake bypass, and I'll be running this on a B18C ECU. So we're going to pull that motor out, put this motor in, but first I got to put this motor together. Like I said, when I got it, it was basically a long block, and I need to turn it into something that's usable for my purposes, and that is a complete engine with transmission. But look over here, you can see the transmission I have. This transmission is out of a Integra XSI from Japan. It has an LSD. It's a cable transmission, which is what I want. I want a cable transmission for this particular build. I don't want to switch to hydraulic because I do hope to have some AC in this car at some point. And I'm redesigning the Hassport AC bracket to be a little more compact so that it works well with this large radiator. So I'm hoping to have AC and be able to drive this thing around in the summertime, which would be nice. So here we are. I was actually able to find this B18C. Actually, this was given to me. Tim Beadle was cleaning out his garage, and said, come get all this junk I have. And one of the junky things he had was this manifold. Didn't have a throttle body, but I'm sure I can find a throttle body. It was missing the vacuum reservoir to work the air intake bypass. What I found was a vacuum solenoid that's actually, this one's out of a Prelude. Preludes also have the air intake bypass. For those of you who don't know what air intake bypass is inside this plate right here is a set of butterflies. So as the RPM increases, the second set of butterflies open up, thereby shortening the route of the air, hopefully giving you more peak horsepower. So at low RPM, you have longer runners, and at high RPM, the shorter runners open up, so all 8 runners are open, and that should help you get more peak horsepower out of the engine. Now, this doesn't perfectly fit inside our bracket because there's actually mounting holes for it to bolt to the bottom of the H22, but this should be good enough for me to use until I can actually find a real live GSR one. It has a solenoid here. This is what gets operated, so when the solenoid is opened up, vacuum is applied to this pot right here, and then this opens up the butterflies. Hear that action?
Yeah.
All right, that is what happens. It opens those up using vacuum, and that allows the shorter path for the air and hopefully better peak horsepower. Now, in an EF, we have to change a few things on a B18C. One of those things is this block bracket. This is the B18C block bracket. Now, I have, here we go. This is Passport's version of the block bracket that comes on a 1993 Tegra. This bolts up to that. Oh my goodness, what's going on out there?
Recycling.
Anyway, this goes into, this bolts up to the Passport EFB mount kit, which we already have in this car. By the way, I don't know if you noticed this, the valve cover is white, the intake air tube is white, and the engine mounts are actually white. I had them Cerakoted when I was doing this, because I thought it'd be kind of cool to have a white stripe and Cerakoting. Oops, let me move this. For those of you who don't know, this is a ball mower for tennis. I actually agreed to repair it, and I really need to do that. So I need to fix that. So anyway, so this block bracket allows you to use the EFB mount kit from Passport. One thing about the B18C though is it's a slightly taller engine. So what winds up happening is with this,
You're talking to the lights.
I am. But you know what? That records, so you can always just take some B-roll.
That's
what you want to do. All right. So anyway, so one of the things about this is these engines are slightly taller. So what winds up happening is this corner of the valve cover is actually going to touch the understructure of the hood. So you have to make a little dent or cut away some of the structure underneath there for that to happen. It's not going to touch on this particular hood because this is an SIR style hood. So let me show you what that means.
it means you're halogenated, yeah.
It's halogenated. So the SIR hood has a raised center section. If you were to get a normal EF, you would notice that instead of this raise right here, these USDM versions drop down almost identically. So all they've done is gone from here to here. So, and that is on the CRXs that are the SIR, which come with the B16 motor. By the way, the B16 motor sits higher in the JDM car than it does with our mount kit. We did that because we needed to clear the hood. But because I have this front end, my B18C will not touch the hood, which would be perfect. So if you're doing a B18C swap, you actually need to, sorry, I keep looking. If you're doing a B18C swap, you want to do a little clearance, otherwise you're gonna rub a little paint off on your valve cover right here.
Yeah, but this one's already, it's already pre-rubbed.
Well, you know what? This particular valve cover is complete, undamaged. I know it's not right, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be stripping it down. Actually, I'm not. This valve cover will go onto my shelf somewhere. And what I will be doing is doing a type R valve cover. So instead of the white that I've been using for this particular car, I'm going to change everything over to red. So the mounts are going to go red. The intake air tube is going to go red. And this stripe that goes around the body is going to go red also. That's like the SIR is in Japan when this car was made. So
you got it right here.
My new mounts, instead of being Cerakoted white, are going to be anodized red. Now, just so you know, Cerakote's actually much more durable, but I decided to go with this after we recently built a bunch for Honda for their race program. We do the engine mounts for the new Civic, new Integra, that kind of stuff. They like this color red, so I went ahead and had mine anodized in red as well, so I can be just like them. The only thing lacking is I'm not going to have the Honda Racing logo etched onto mine like they do, but I think those look pretty cool. We'll go ahead and anodize the air tube red, as well as getting a red valve cover. So I think it'll look pretty slick. And I actually made 2 sets of the transmission mounts. I made a set for hydraulic as well, although I didn't bring them home. This is the cable style one. It's a beautiful thing. So we will be switching over to red trim on this car, which should look pretty cool. By the way, this car used to originally be red. I don't know if you know that.
I do. I was talking to Carter about how we all have the shiny red cars.
And I have a black car.
And you have a black car that used to be red.
That used to be red. Yeah.
If we had all 3, we could have had all the golden arrow.
Yeah.
Then we could have been a crew, man.
We could have been we are a crew. All right. We're going to take a little break here and answer some questions. If you guys have questions on the live stream.
I doubt it.
Nobody asks
they
any questions.
They never have questions.
Nobody ever asks any questions. All right.
It's not your thing.
Here we go. Red's plus 10 horsepower. I agree. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Pure anger, too.
It's true. All right. So let's look and see what we got here. So if you make Brian laugh, you can make a cameo. Yeah, you can. I wouldn't mind doing a JK all-wheel drive in RD1. By the way, J, I'm not going to do J to K, but I'm going to do J auto all-wheel drive into the RD1. Yeah, it's so hard to find the J all-wheel drive manual transmissions. I'm just going to do it with an automatic.
It's the valve cover. So this picture the valve cover.
Oh, there's a valve cover. Where did I get that? I think I took that. I think it was in my shed somewhere. So I just grabbed it. So that's going to be the valve cover that goes on.
See, if I was going to keep it.
Yeah, if I say OBD0, you have a Z9 Gold or a spoon ECU. Buzz for the V16. Yeah, you know what? I actually have a Z9 Gold. I have a Z9 Gold, and you know what else I have access to?
And that camera.
Sorry. I also have a Z9 Gold. And you know what else I have? I have it's got a light on it and everything to tell me it's one recording. I've got a Z9 Gold, and I have, you changed it.
Over here.
Thank you. So,
it's a little bit better frame than this one.
Yeah. So, the Z9 Gold has like an RS-232 cable or something that hooks up to it for doing updates and stuff like that. I think that's what it is. So I don't think I have a laptop with the right output, although I'm sure there's adapters available. USB to RS-232. Too funny. The other thing is the other thing I have is that an AEM EMS that was built for the OBD0 cars. Crazy. I don't actually own it, but I know where it is, and I can use it. And it's like super rare. I think there were like 4 of them made before they decided to can that. I think what happened was Honda came out with the S100 back in the day, and once they did that, everybody started converting to OD1, and it kind of killed that market for doing anything. So Z-Dyne kind of went out of business, and AEM decided to make different stuff. But that's pretty crazy.
But they live on in our hearts.
What?
So they live on in our hearts.
Yes, they live on our hearts.
And this one either wants to go too high or too low.
Yeah, can you buy the lift for $1,500? I think it cost me, I forget what it cost me.
You got a good deal on it.
I think I bought it for $875, but it cost me like $400 or $600 to have it installed. Build and H. Yeah, at some point. I actually have an H. I'm not sure what I put it in. I have one in my
No, I know where we're going to put the H in.
What?
We're going to do an H auto into our TL.
Into the CL. Is that, so you want to do the H auto? Okay.
Yes.
All right, so Nick G, he actually emailed me earlier today. He was asking me about Earth Dreams K24s and V's and W's, and I said, I wouldn't use them, just because they're not really tunable at this point. They are. You have to go through K-tuner, but I don't think that they make a swappable ECU for that stuff. So anyway, so Nick says, emailed again. Yeah, I was probably still. We are doing, of course, TSX Auto K-Series mounts for the EK and these two. Absolutely going to do that. I have already done it for the EK, and it's actually a version of our EKK1 kit. But the next thing I'm going to do is, I was actually hoping to start it on Thursday, although today's dyno fiasco probably means I won't get to it. We'll probably get to it very soon because I want to have those available for DC2, EK, EKK2, so the dual height, and then also for EG. So those should be coming out. No, the vids do not take one take. Generally speaking, they're a little bit more, I mean, usually I make more mistakes when I'm talking. This particular time I was probably on really well because I had both a Red Bull and a beer. And I think speedballing is the way to go. It makes me relaxed yet on my game. So that worked out pretty good. What trans bolts to R44 when manual swapping? Just normal K-series transmission bolts for the manual. And you can get them off an Accord, you can get them off a Civic or a RSX or whatever. No, it's not for sale, Dutch.
Is he asking if you're hackers for sale?
Yeah. Not for $19.99, that's for sure. I'll let you drive when it's done. It'll be fun. All right. All right, Jaeger bombs. And those, vodka and Red Bull, that might work, but Jaeger bombs, no, that wouldn't work. No, we're not doing shots anymore.
We could.
No, we're not having alcohol.
No, not right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not tonight.
Maybe when he's back for the next live, he's back for it.
So yeah, because tonight's the. We're just trying to work on the multicam live streams.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out how this multicam thing works so that we can use it a little bit more. I am probably going to, and I say probably, most definitely, going to set up a membership. So we will have our normal live. That's not going to be, you're not going to need a membership to watch that. But
we'll have member exclusive.
We'll have member exclusive. And those will probably take place while working on cars. But you can still ask questions. Because what we should have, during the member videos, we should have somebody monitoring the questions and the cameras. So we get good, good pictures of what we're doing. And at the same time, we can, get some work done as well. So, and right now, I don't know, I'm thinking like $1.99 a month maybe for the base
for the
thing. Basic, and that would just mean you would get access to some of these videos. and it would be member only. Those
Yeah, we're just going to figure out the different levels.
We'll figure out levels. So if you guys have any suggestions of what you want to see for memberships, yeah, let me know. It's something that we've been trying. We need to have.
You'll get. Well, I know for sure we're going to figure out. Members will have custom icons. So like when you're in the chat here, you have an official whatever designation icon,
which helps us recognize you when you make comments or ask questions.
So yeah, like instead of seeing JDM Nuggets icon there, we do the membership one, and then we know not to ignore it, but to answer it instead of
we would know to ignore everybody else.
Although the super stickers or the stickers get our attention too, but I know everybody can't do that every single time that they.
And thanks again, Josh. And about the beat fund, the money's just sitting there. The beat keeps getting pushed back, so I may have to buy it. I may have to do all the stuff myself here, but no, it's not going to happen right at the moment. Right at the moment,
we have so many projects right now that if we had the beat right now, it would get neglected anyway.
Yeah, true.
As much as we want to just dive into it.
Yeah, as much as we want to dive into it, it would get backburned.
Because guess what? You really want to dive into that TL, right?
I really want to dive into
TL. I haven't done anything on that in a year.
No. So, yeah, exactly. I want to dive into TL, but I also need to do the automatic RD1. Mm-hmm. I need to do the JRD1. I need to do the automatic EK, EG, EC2. We need to do a budget EK. These are the things that are kind of priority right now.
Yeah. The project with Dennis, we have.
Yeah. Exactly.
Are LS VTEC still relevant in 2025?
Yeah. Certainly. Absolutely.
You don't pay that tax on that block.
Yeah, I mean, I have a B17 head, a B16 head, a B18C head. At some point, I'm going to slap them on a B20. That's I have those things. So the B16 or B18 heads are still available. B16 heads and B18 heads, and they're much cheaper than buying a whole engine. And a B20 is fine if it's street. It's got a lot of torque. It feels great. If you're going to turbo it, you're going to sleeve the damn thing anyway. So go ahead and use a B20 block, and those are still available. You can find CRVs in the salvage yards all the time. If I wanted to, I could pull a new block, not a new brand new block, but you know what I mean, a B20 block every week. Between the 4 or 5 salvage yards over here that are pick them yourself, I can get one a week.
Do a turbo K-swap CL.
The CL is basically the same as the Accord, so the mounts are there. It depends on the year CL, honestly, but yeah, the one that has the H23, same as the Accord. So yeah.
What's up, Vic? Normally ignore for sure. Oh yeah, yep. Josh, we need to work on the FRS at some point. The FRS, the RX-8, the Vigor.
Oh, the Vigor, the Mini Cooper.
The Mini Cooper.
Yeah. So there are a few non-Honda cars too that we need to do.
And basically, the other stuff.
And then the NSX stuff.
And the NSX.
There's 3 NSX things I need to do. I need to finish one.
But for the project car, well, if you did that one kit for the
NSX, or for the K20C. Well, I've done the K20C. I just need to redesign the rear mount, and then that's done.
No, but I'm saying to do in your NSX.
My NSX. I would probably do a J, at least to start off, just to get it running. So that would be good.
That and do the Mad Max thing. Get everything, all the mechanical stuff we need.
I have not seen the S1 all-wheel drive fit kit. I would like to see that. I'm assuming they're using some sort of modified HRV rear end. That would be interesting.
Huh. Oh yeah, the AH.
So anyway, yeah, so many things. Yeah, I have a Type R motor right now. I'm preparing for my 86 or 7 or whatever Civic hatchback.
Yeah.
Scott was working on it just the other day.
And
that car's going to crash.
Then we also have Carter CRX.
And then Carter CRX, I put the B16 back there. And Carter's Integra, the never-ending swap.
The EK is getting revisited.
EK is getting revisited, turbo.
Mm-hmm.
The got to do a different turbo on the budget EG because that one's not. It's too hot.
It's just not great for track.
Yeah, not great for track. We're going to take that motor and put it in something else because I think it'll work great in something else, but it's not really working for that.
Unless you figure out if you maybe could weld those. Or
Well, the
fill
port
those-
shut,
yeah.
the water ports. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't want to put like epoxy or anything because I think that would just crack and come out. But welding it might be the answer. And welding it, you could actually drill a little hole in the ports to let gas out because that's the hard part is welding something, sealing something. So there's some possibility there. I have an extra manifold that's out of the car. I'll take it over to John and see what he says about welding it up. So.
Because, you know, if that's the cheat code, then it becomes drivable.
Right. If that makes it not overheat, then it's drivable.
Yeah.
I may do that when I put it in a different car. I'm thinking about putting it in an RD1 CRV. The reason is I can put the intercooler back on top,
Yeah.
which I think is cool. My phone thinks I'm talking to it whenever I
Say series.
say Siri.
JDM Nuggets. JDM Nuggets is the only one that's really all about the NSX stuff. I wonder why.
NSXs are cool.
He's one of our 2 viewers actually has an NSX.
They are very cool.
Let's see. You see VT Proto's question?
I have a question regarding the transmission mounts on my 2004 Honda Civic 2.0 Auto. Wait, what?
Wait,
Honda Civic 2.0 Auto?
It's been manual swapped.
If you're manual swapping it, you had an automatic with a
K20
Interesting.
Auto.
Interesting. Well, there was actually a K20 Auto that came in a Malaysian sedan.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I'm assuming, RSX Auto manual is what you're going to want to use. Because what winds up happening is, I'm assuming that your car was originally an auto for the 2.0, so that mount that's on the top of the transmission.
Oh, it's from the Philippines.
Yeah, that mount that's on top of the transmission, the mount holes are very up high on the frame rail. So in order to get those in, if you want the billet aluminum mount, I think we call it the DC5 AMBB, and if you want to use it's called the DC5 A and B, and then you get the mount that goes on top of the transmission, which is like our EKK, LH, EKK, LH. But yeah, you can email wordofthepassport.com and he'll tell you the bracket and the amount you need in order to do that. We also have a steel mount available for that as well if you want to save a few dollars. So you can do the steel mount and bracket as well. And if you want to do if you have the stock mount in there, you want to keep the stock mount, we make just a bracket that goes to the stock mount. There's that too.
You got options.
Options.
Let's see. Oh, have you ever driven a CL1 Euro R? I haven't.
No, I'm not.
They're that one. It looks so much like our Accord, but it's just slightly smaller.
Are you talking about CL9? Are you talking about the
CL1.
previous year? The previous. Yeah, I have not. So it's actually physically smaller than our Accord. I mean, our Accord came basically in 2 sizes. It came the 4-cylinder and the 6-cylinder. Basically, the 6-cylinder, the front end was like.
Yeah, I mean the actual physical body.
It's small.
It's smaller.
Crazy. No, I have not. I don't recall when we were in England. Did we see one of those?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, there's one at MIMS.
Huh?
There's at least one at MIMS.
I probably saw it. I just didn't recognize what it was. Or I probably saw it. Oh, there's the front end. Rather than the styling is totally different. But yeah. All right.
Oh man, OBX individual throttle bodies on a street driven B16A
So
on the street.
So I've been thinking about that, by the way.
Okay.
This has collector car insurance, which means it doesn't go through emissions. So I could do that. But I wouldn't use the OBX ones, and the reason I wouldn't is because they used to copy our mounts. And what I would do is I would use the TWM, which is now owned by Borla. So Borla TWM, I would use their throttle box. Or I'd use, I think also, gosh, who's the other company that makes them? JDM company that makes them. And that's OBX. Yeah, Toyota. That's who OBX copied, I believe. Toyota. So I would probably I might do the Toyota.
Was it tough to get a good, decent tune with those on the street?
Oh yeah, I think you could. The problem is, I really should probably raise the compression if I do something like that, so I can really maximize the horsepower. So, yeah, I'll think about that.
So yeah, MF Doom, it's basically up to your tuner. If it's gonna run like shit, like some people slap them on and then they don't care because they got the cool looking individual throttle bodies.
And an idle ride, and
they're
it's
like,
start.
this is so racy. And meanwhile, it's making less power.
Yeah, it's fine from 4,000 RPM up, but low, not very well behaved on the street. You need a vacuum reservoir that all the throttle bodies are feeding to, so that your engine kind of has an idea how much plenum vacuum you would have if you had a plenum, so it can give you the right amount of fuel. That's my air compressor. Not terribly loud, but loud enough. Yeah, so you need that, and then you need a good tuner. So those are the things.
One more. Is there any way to change a V series to drive-by-wire?
Oh yeah, a B series? Yeah, I mean with like a Haltech.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go with a different ECU. There's no. I don't know if the crank angle and maybe. Let me explain.
Yeah, but would it be worth it?
The D17 in the 01 to 05 Civic can be run with a K-Pro. So if the crank trigger has the same number of teeth as the D17 does, then you would be able to do that. But then you have the cam on the intake and the exhaust, and one of those tells you top dead center on the 4 cylinders, and the other one tells you where top dead center is on the number 1 cylinder. And that information is also in the distributor on a V series. So
if you're going to do that, then you might as well coil and plug in.
Yeah, well, interesting. You could actually make a custom reluctor for the crankshaft, put a pickup on it, and have it tell the ECU how the crank is spinning, rather than use the sensor in the distributor. I would imagine you can do it, because people make custom distributors for the coil and plug. So if they can do that and give you the right number of pulses, then I don't see why you couldn't use drive-by-wire. You would just wind up running like an 05, 06, no, that's not good. An 06, well, I'm sorry, sort of, a TSX ECU, or a 2012 SI ECU, or something along those lines. When you do a swap of those things, though, it's probably going to wind up being a K-tuner, not a Honda, because I don't think Honda makes a swap ECU yet for the TSX ECU. And it'd be like an 07, 08 ECU on TSX. But yeah, you can do it. And of course, the other way would be to just put a Haltech on it or something else that has that capability.
Can I add a distributor to my K series?
Could you add a distributor?
Instead of coil and plug, I'm just going to do a distributor.
You take some machining on the head and on the camshaft, so you could spin that puppy.
No, thank you.
Oh, actually, you know what you could do is you could feed the signals to a coil and the igniter system. So, oh no, it needs to spin and hit the plug to a particular time. Yeah, you could just take a lot of machining.
And then
but the machine is possible, because I mean,
but then I can go back to the days of having to swap out distributors.
The most unreliable part on a Honda, is either the distributor or the automatic transmission on a V6.
Yeah. true.
Or took out airbag.
The most unreliable part of a Honda is the driver.
Yeah.
All right, we ready to? What are we gonna do now?
Oh shit. Well, good question. I guess. Let's change the block bracket.
All right.
That will be the thing. Let me get some tools. Oh, we blocked off my toolbox.
It's tool time. Yeah, we can swap this one.
I'm gonna move
that
it.
one.
Because this one can adjust better than that one. That one either when you go up one click, it's too high. If you go down one click, it's pointed too low. So let's swap.
Great work. Stuff's jacked around.
Who did it?
No idea. Could be, but I doubt it. All right. Put it a little far away so we do it the door I can.
Yeah, I'll try to bring this so it's.
All right.
This will be the close-up shot.
Cool.
But just wait, we gotta grab my camera. And you gotta turn your mic back on.
Right about there. If I can do this without taking off the crank pulley. No, I can't. It's a big clap, man. How's that work?
Why is it so tough to
Ready?
These are so tough to aim.
No, I'm not even by my camera.
Not even close.
Not even by the
Can I move a
camera.
little bit? Now that you got it all framed up. This table's probably anyway.
It's so hot.
Still high?
This one's still.
Want me to move back? Oh.
No, you're fine. Don't go anywhere.
Don't just fucking move. You know what's good for you.
I know it's good for me. I know it's good for me. There's plenty of fiber. Eat mostly a plant-based diet.
Get a lot of sleep. Yeah, turn your mic on.
Up. Turn my mic on.
Yeah.
Is it off?
Yeah, because
Why'd you do that?
the camera was powered down. I was going to answer your questions.
Turn on. Okay. Am I hooked?
Well, that was easy.
All right. Take one. Okay, we're going to start off with changing this block bracket. And a couple things.
Now you start.
Want me to yell it? Okay. Okay, we're going to start off with changing this block bracket. Now, we're going to have to take the timing covers off. I'm going to try and sneak this top one by the valve cover, but I might have to loosen it as well. So, one thing though, you're going to take the crank pulley off. And let me show you something I discovered recently. It's just a game changer. This is a weighted socket. It is heavy. If I threw this at Aaron right now, he'd be down. So this thing is super heavy, and it just seems to hit harder. So we've had, on occasion, crank pulleys weren't able to get off, and once I bought this, I have yet to find one that I can't take off. Now, that doesn't mean this Makita is going to be able to do that, because it's not particularly strong, but we're going to give it a try, see what happens. This could be loose too. I may have just Hand tightened it. No, it's tight. Boom, baby. It's off. So I had just used my regular, if I had used a regular socket, that would not have come off. Okay. Make sure you don't lose this. This little key right there. You need that Woodruff key. That's what aligns the crank pulley. I had a friend one time that didn't put one on, and his crank pulley unspun itself and left.
Oh.
And he was driving down the freeway, and he heard a clunk, and then he watched it rolling down the freeway in front of him.
Did it go like through his radiator?
No, it hit the ground.
Oh, okay.
Hit the ground, jumped forward. It was actually a point where he was putting on the brakes. He hit the ground, hit the underside of his car, put a little dent in the thing, not bad. But then it just took off and was rolling down the freeway.
Those things, they have a lot of energy in them.
They do. They're steel with that rubber bonding thing in order to decrease vibrations. They are a harmonic dampener. That's the way Honda makes those things. But anyway, next, let's take our covers off. Let's see. Well, you can see this is a newer engine because it has the crank fluctuation sensor on the crankshaft. So this is part of OBD2 electronics. This kind of monitors if the belt winds up getting loose, then you could wind up with a crank fluctuation error code. It can also happen if your sugar starts to go bad. Do I have them all? There we go. Ooh. Creamy. Not sure what's up with all this white stuff. Been rubbing up against my trailer and all that. It's got a brand new belt, brand new water pump.
Ooh.
Pristine. It is
That's
pristine.
the one I need.
Yep, can't have it. It's fine.
Gotta go to sleep sometime.
No. Okey-doke. This is the block record itself. Oh, shit. Oh, my goodness.
This is the part where.
Who did this? Who torched this on?
Yeah, Honda.
Yeah, I figured that's fine. No, wow. What if it got Loctite on or something? That was crazy tight. But you know what? It feels like it's Loctite. No, just come on. Okay. See if it's loosen up. A little bit of Loctite on there. Ooh, you can smell it. Yuck. That's weird. It's like it bent.
What, man?
Huh? Like the bolt. Did you see it wobbling?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's even jammed in there. Well, that's a little scary. Hopefully the threads are okay.
Do you have
Get another bolt.
Do you have other bolts?
I should. Ever seen my bolt collection? It's the best.
I have.
Oh, right.
got that lock bracket once you get a red one.
I'm not going to get rid of the lock bracket. I think that's too much.
Too much.
Yeah. I have my own. You also too. Where's my size thing? I like it. All right.
Make it over. You can Loctite it.
So, notice how these bolts are brand new? They're not. One of the things I've been doing is when we send out hardware at Hassport to get it zinc plated, I send a bunch of used bolts with it.
Which one was the weird one?
Oh,
The bottom one?
that one right
That
there.
one? That single play?
The one that went in easy.
All right.
Probably because the hole is slightly enlarged. Yeah, I gotta wonder if Honda did that on purpose because of the damage to the one bolt. Yeah, I can't believe that. The torque's probably like 33 foot-pound on this. That one was in probably, felt like 90. Although it was the Loctite really that was.
That was holding it.
Yep.
So what? These are M10s?
Either M10s, yeah.
And that, what's the torque range on an M10? It's like
About 33 unless it's going into steel.
Okay.
Then it's a little bit tighter now.
So now you'll be able to tell if anything's leaking on it because it'll be on the white part.
Yeah. I wonder if this is, I mean, it's obviously not brand new, but it's in pretty good shape. I wonder if that's soap from washing. But you'd rather the rubber gasket be so fresh.
It's the Argot Life.
Argot Life. My gasket seated properly. It is. We're good. Sure.
So everybody's favorite part of the video is when you're
Putting bolts in. Slowly putting bolts in.
let's see, fan base.
I don't hear anybody yelling.
Oh geez, Hawk Tua. We got a Hawk Tua reference.
Spit on that thing.
Spit on that thing. Oh. Absolutely. It's always easier to work on it when the engine's out.
All right. Lube it up. When I was in high school, I worked at a motorcycle dealership. When I was assembling, one of the things I would do is I would assemble all the brand new bikes when they came.
Here, start it over, Will.
I was in high school, my senior year. I worked at a Honda dealership, and I did two things. I worked on all the two-strokes that came in because I had been racing motorcycles for quite some time. The other thing I did was I put together all the brand new bikes. And it was interesting. I remember this one mechanic saying, he goes, don't break off any of those 10 millimeter bolts. By the way, that was the first tool I ever bought from Snap-on, was a 10 millimeter wrench. Because I didn't have one. I had everything else and somehow I lost it, which, you know, that's what 10 millimeter do. They just make a run for it. So yeah, working on a bike. So I bought a 10 millimeter wrench. And the guy, this old grizzly mechanic should break, never do that. In fact, what you need to do, if you want to get the right torque rate, is you tighten with one hand. He says, hold by the head of the ratchet, and then you can tighten it as tight as you want, and you won't break it. So that, right there, good. It's in. All right. That's it done. Should I change the valve? Yeah, because this thing looks ugly.
It looks
ugly.
It looks
too used.
Worn. It's gently loved.
You know what? By the way, does anybody know where I can get these open top nuts that hold the these washers down on the inside? They're open top and they have a shoulder on them, so that when you put the cover on, the cover sits on the shoulder. Kind of cool. No idea. I remember the first power tool I bought when I worked at the Honda dealership. It was called a butterfly ratchet. And it was a air ratchet that was about this long, about bigger, and that's how you tighten and loosen things. And it was pneumatic. And it was like, when I was looking for tools to buy.
Dave Nuggets asked what year this was in high school, and do you want to hear the year he suggested?
75 and 76.
Oh, he was so close.
What did he say?
1942.
Ah, that's my dad. Actually, he would have been still in elementary school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they were importing Hondas in the U.S. in 42. I think he was still serving in the military. So Soichiro Honda still serving in the military, and you know, the mechanized bicycles were just a dream in his head. Yep.
There she goes.
I forgot about that one apparently. Whoa, there's no gasket on this. Well, let's hope there's a gasket on that.
There's. Yo, Honda.
Well, apparently I need to purchase a gasket. Brand new. You guys can't see this, but it's brand new.
Made in Japan.
Look at this thing, it looks pristine in there. I will just set it on in the meantime.
Just keep stuff out of it.
Keep the garbage out. Keep the rodents out.
Now it really looks like you accomplished a lot.
Dude, we're done for the night.
It's a build.
It's a build. It's built, not bought.
Like, it's built, not bought. I got it for free.
I got it for free. Yeah. Yeah, did I mention that? I got it for free.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. From a Honda dude who's like, I was going to build a CRX, but now I want a K. And then he's like, I don't know if I want to build anymore. Want to buy my CRX? Yeah.
Is that the one you have?
That's the white one.
Nah.
White HF. I still got to pick it up. It's languishing in California. I think I want to get black nuts for it. They'll look more striking. All right, let's leave that. Tomorrow, what wardrobe I'm wearing, so I can just do it again when we're recording more video. AEM. Okay, next on my list is this vintage AEM fuel pressure regulator in red anodizing. We'll go right here, and this will be just kind of go with the whole motif. We'll see how it matches. And he goes, so I'm pulling the plug out to see if it has spark, and I turn the thing over, and gas just blows out of the cylinder when he turns it over. He's like, oh my God, look at all that gas. He goes, can anybody tell me what was wrong? And it turns out that the diaphragm was bad in the stock fuel pressure regulator. Actually, it was an aftermarket fuel pressure regulator. The diaphragm was bad. And the vacuum line went from the top of the fuel pressure regulator to that cylinder runner. And it was just, and when it pulled in, it would just, well, actually, it was just
all the pressure was going through there.
Going right through there, right into the cylinder. It was running in there.
So now you want to check that one?
Not at all. Yeah, I do want to check it, but I'm lazy, so I'm not sure I'm going to do it. I think it'll actually be easier to unbolt it when it's bolted on here. So I'll check it out after I get it bolted on. And I probably won't show that part.
Why not?
Because just in case I'm lazy and I don't do it, nobody can say,
Yeah, but never time you have a problem, they can all say it.
Well, no, I can do the whole, the thing that Gil did with the, guess what was wrong? I know it'd be kind of manufactured,
We don't need. We have enough problems.
we have enough problem with that, without manufacturing.
You're at the dyno today, right?
Yeah, I was there. Oh my God, come off. Oh, the dog's going wild. Oh, Carter's home. I don't know if you guys can hear the pumping going on, but the dog's going ape shit.
Yeah, without mics, you can't really hear.
Yeah, the mics, our sound is too good. Extra parts. What could these possibly be?
Not for this application.
Well, there's two bolts, so they probably are for holding it down because it's bolts. I don't know what these are for though.
Well, that one's brass, isn't it?
Yeah, one's brass and one's. I don't see any other threaded things to put it on. Got a little O-ring. Got a couple washers for my socket head cap screws. All right, I should have got an Allen wrench. That's interesting. The gasket totally didn't stay where it needed to be. All right, let's get an Allen wrench. Just rearranged my toolboxes. I don't remember where everything is. Oh, come on now. Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're saying we're getting some lag.
Getting some lag.
It's not motion. It's
That is something I'm worried about with this. All Are we overwhelming the system? I don't see why.
Maybe my phone's not connected to the same.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't see why.
Down at the shop, it was better than the Cox Business Wi-Fi we had before.
That's good. I think I need to put that back on.
So what?
I think I need to put that back on.
Why? You don't have any belts.
Well, probably lose the key if I don't. But you know what I don't have is I don't have something to hold it steady as I torque it down, so I think I'll have to bring back the tool for that.
Oh, you don't have one here?
I don't think so. Let me look. I lied. I haven't. I didn't mean to lie. I did.
Mint Mobile Stream.
Huh?
They said Mint Mobile Stream. The 1G network.
Oh, is it that bad?
I don't know. Looks fine on my phone.
So this is interesting. The vacuum is on top, which actually is going to wind up being the tallest part of the engine, but luckily the hood slopes up. But I wonder if I put it on, if I put it on sideways. Well, then you wouldn't be able to read AM. Oh yeah, you can. It's over here. So I might just rotate it 90 degrees, if that's possible. No, it's not. Rotate it. 60 degrees, or maybe 120 degrees. So I'll probably rotate when I take it off to look at the diaphragm.
Oh, it just did it just slightly for the first time for me.
What do you think the torque setting is on the bolt? Hammer it for 30 seconds with the impact drive, or do you think it's actually a number?
I think it's a number, and it
I think it's a number. I think it's 120. I think it's 90. Look it up for me. Thank you.
Netgear, Nighthawk, M6 mobile, 5G mobile. Yeah, we have a mobile hotspot, guys. We're just trying it out for the first time today.
All right, I'm gonna check the diaphragm. Make sure it's not ancient.
Not a bum.
Not a problem. I need that size.
Let's see. Crate pulley, 90 plus Integra. What was your guess?
120.
Close.
What is it?
It says 130 on that base.
Okay.
$180 fire marshal bill.
What do you say?
Somebody said 180.
That's a full 40 seconds of torquing with that. Interesting. I believe this thing is made in USA. because it's not metric.
Or you can go to get to that one.
Yeah, I'll just have you know. It's the one missing.
Where's the router right now?
It is up in my office upstairs, which is soon to be my living room.
Wonder if it's just too far from.
It could be. Maybe we can bring it down here next time. From here.
Or for memberships, they can watch the live streams of.
I almost put it right here. The whole weight set right here. I was so close. And then I'm like, and then I got to turn the AC on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we have AC in here. It was 90 today.
It was 92 was the high.
It was 90 degrees in here when we got back. When we were done eating tacos, it was still 90. I like my food hot, not my weather.
So it's-
I don't really care.
84 here.
84 now? Perfect. It feels good. Oh, bastard. The spring. There we go.
I'm gonna shoot
I
off.
think this may be a mistake taking this off. Yeah.
What we do is so that other people don't have to.
Holy shit. Alright, so, what was that? That just
That was
dropped off? Oh, is that screw? No, it was one of the ones in my hand. Oh, it's probably the one. Alright, interesting. So, got a pretty big spring in it. The spring gets a preload from this, and that determines what the fuel pressure is. And then you have this diaphragm, which the fuel pushes against it, and when it gets to a particular pressure, all the excess fuel bleeds by out this return line. So that's how these things work. So,
Does that diaphragm look good?
yeah, that's fine. Not dried out and cracked like I was feared. So, could you hand me one of those screws?
Really? Oh, that's
Right there on the other side of the AEM box. Actually, two. Thanks.
I kind of want to stop recording this right now to check the live stream.
Yeah, do that.
But if something messes up and it goes flying,
If that goes flying?
I want to have it on video. And it won't. You already got the first one in there. You ruined it.
Sorry.
The diaphragm stops the engine from getting triggers. Do we have anything for the 95 Civic Wagon RT4 all-wheel drive from Japan? Does Haskell have anything?
Not specifically. I have one of those transmissions, and I need to do something with it. But the problem is, I think that chassis, the bracket that sits on the frame rail, may not be the same as the one that is in the Civic. I think it might be more like the one that comes on the Integra. So I would have to find an automatic Integra chassis, put the D-series motor with transmission in there in order to figure out what the mount was like. I mean, we had the other mount, we had the rear mount, we had the left-hand mount.
So, stuff from Passport. We got stickers and we got shift knobs.
Okay.
And t-shirts you can wear while you drive.
Yeah. And 2 of the mounts. 2 of the 3 mounts.
2 of the 3 mounts.
And actually, you could do the underframe mounts too. Those I'm sure are the same. Okay. Back together.
Oh, Vic was in Wisconsin, so he's gone. He's already logged off. He's got to be up.
Be up early.
3 hours early? Right?
All right.
3 hour time difference? No. For you guys, is it 2 hour time difference?
All right. I think it's kind of cool. What I did was I rotated it, and now my vacuum is in a little bit better place.
Because it was.
All right. Not important. It's important for these guys, not these guys.
Yeah.
All right. So what I did was when I went ahead and checked it to see if the diaphragm was okay, it looked fine. Didn't crack, wasn't cracked or anything. Still was supple and rubbery. I went ahead and rotated this 120 degrees. So now the AEM symbol is more on top, and my vacuum is more off to the side, so it's kind of more out of the way. But anyway, let's bag it, dude.
All right. You want to check some of the. Some of
the questions.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to. Oh wait, there's my phone.
That's my phone.
That's your phone.
Your phone.
There's
is
my phone.
By the mountains.
All right. Wow, VTEC Academy is still live. Holy shit, so long. All right. So
That's what she said.
back perfect. Wow, there's a lot of comments here. But mostly you guys are keeping each other entertained. I like that. Do you make motor mounts for our 95 Civic bike? Oh, yeah, I answered that. Okay. I wish. Only 2. I don't really have that transmission site. Yeah. Jim's going to come out and install ubiquity access points for us. Sorry about that if our feed was shitty. Shouldn't they be the same as the EF? You know, actually they might be, because I think that the Beagle was, even though it was in 95, it was actually like an 88 to 91 car. I think he's correct.
Really?
But again, I still don't make that transmission mount. Is it a clutch, is the clutch actuated with a cable, or is it actuated with hydraulics? That's what I want to know. Freddie After Dark, let me know. All right. Yeah, live from the Faraday Cage garage. All right, we'll move that thing in here next time, and we'll actually open up the metal door so that we get a decent reception. See how that works. All right, stop motion is cool. Thanks. What do you? All right, don't drop the motor. Yeah, that's what I was banging on. Yeah, this is a 5G. Yeah, the problem is we get 1 bar of reception on AT&T and Verizon, which is just bullshit. That sucks. I hate that. Yeah, we can just move the router down here into the garage to do that next time. We will do that. 120 foot-pounds. Thank you very much. I will do that, by the way. All right, that needs to be changed. Cheers, 180, an old bolt, on an old bolt. Yeah, this is fine. Stops the engine getting preggers. Thank you very much. What do you have for 95 Civic? Again, we've got it here in SoCal. We're happy to take it. Take 2. You guys are going to be down there Saturday? No. Well, down at Passport, I'm sure we will. If you want to come by, please do, Josh. got the wagon here. So, well, 95 Honda Civic wagon, RT1 4x Beagle. Yeah, Freddie, let's see what that. You send me a couple pictures. Send them to Brian@Passport or VTEC.Academy@gmail.com. You need to pick up. Are you going to be at Brian Thomas's? Yeah, he's moving stuff out. Fastenal has those open top tumbling valve cover bolts. Fastenal has them. Okay,
Nice.
cool. I will find them on the interwebs. It's a diesel hydro. In 95, if it's a Beagle, I don't think it is. I think the Beagles actually were EFs. I think they just continued making that body style for a while because it was fairly popular, or they had a niche they wanted to fill. So KTM Nuggets, I don't think that particular D was a hydro. I think that D might have been cable, but I'm asking. Can I get fiber to the property? Nope. Actually, we've streamed a lot of times on the old system. What do we have? We have AT&T. No, we have Cox here.
Yeah, the Cox Internet.
And the Cox is fine. We're going to try it again with the Verizon. The Verizon is so much less expensive, and it works really good down at work. So I got 2 routers, so we'll try it again before we totally give up on it. K20 or B18B for my wagon swap, Brian. K20, too big of a headache. For Jim, for the Beagle, no, K would be fine. Here's the problem with the K. If you want to do K all-wheel drive and an EF, it sits up against the subframe, so you wind up having to do a lot of modifications to the subframe in order to get it in there. Once you get it in there, it works fine. I will look for the pictures, Freddie. Did you send them to VTEC Academy, or did you send them to Hassport or orders at Hassport? Take a look at your email when you get a chance, Brian. I'll take a look at my email. Yeah, I'm pretty bad at that. Usually, Kiana tells me, hey, you have an email from so-and-so. Yep. All right, so the Beagle is an EF. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, they just continued making them for a while. So anyway, so I will look at my email, Freddie, and see what it looks like. Okay, Brian Hassport. All right, so I'll take a look at my email and see if I can see where it is and take a look at it. Usually, yeah, I'll take a look. I'm sure it's there somewhere. I've been pretty bad the last 2 weeks. We've been just jamming trying to get product out. So anyway, we're going to call it an evening. So thanks, guys, very much for joining us here at VTEC Academy. Like I said, this was just kind of a test, so we're going to test it again and see if we get better streaming if we bring the router down here. We can plug it in anywhere. It's wireless. All it needs is 110, 120 volts, and it should work. So I'm going to sign off, and we'll catch you guys next time. I can do some more work on this tomorrow. I need to bring some parts in. Alternator bracket. Let's see. I have the clutch. Probably should put a clutch on. We'll do that.